What's up, Achievers? Today I'm going to take you on a step-by-step journey toward achieving the perfect push-up. Push-ups are one of those exercises you might have nightmares about. Flashbacks to middle school gym class where your teacher made you get up in front of the class and just do as many push-ups as you could without really teaching you how to do them. A lot of people have a lot of anxiety around push-ups because they remember those feelings of feeling inadequate or not able to do them. So today I hope to take some of that anxiety away and show you some progressions and ways to perfect the push-up so that you feel really confident as you go into a set of push-ups. So the first thing we want to start with is a modified push-up. And a lot of times people think about knee push-ups as the only way to modify push-ups, but we actually have a variation that we like better, which is an incline push-up. So for the incline push-up, we want to elevate your hands on something. So ideally it would be something like a squat rack like we have here, or it can be something like the stackable benches where you can add or take away a little bit of height to the bench. While kneeling push-ups can offer some benefit in strengthening the upper body, it's still a really big jump to go from doing push-ups on your knees to doing push-ups on your feet. And there's really nothing in between the two to bridge that gap. So if kneeling push-ups are your only option, there's still a good option to work your way toward a full push-up, but we really recommend also adding in these incline push-ups where you can gradually work your way lower and lower toward the floor. This way, you're using your whole body, you're still getting that full range of motion in the push-up, and eventually you get to the point where you're almost on the ground. Now, while you're working on incline push-ups, we also recommend working on planks. A plank is a really great way to make sure that your body is in alignment and that you're able to maintain good alignment while gravity is working against you. In order to work on your alignment in planks and in push-ups, we like to use the standing pelvic awareness drill. And what this does, what you're going to do is you're going to put your hands in your hips and you're going to stick your butt out and get into this really uncomfortable arched position. And this is where you don't want to be. From here, you're gonna take your thumbs and tilt your hips under so that your butt squeezes, your glutes squeeze, and your abs engage. This is actually where we want to be and the alignment that we want to try to maintain while we're doing planks and while we're doing push-ups. Doing this drill a couple times before dropping down into a plank is a great way to really set your alignment and set you up for a really solid plank. And those planks will really translate to the push-ups when you're trying to work on keeping your body straight. Now, after you've gotten to the point where you're pretty low to the ground with your incline push-ups, we want to start also working on a slow lower down on the floor. So what you're going to do is you're going to get into a tall plank position, basically the top of a push-up position. And from there, you're going to slowly lower your body toward the floor without letting anything change, without letting your back arch or your neck sag, and you're going to get your chest all the way to the floor before getting on your knees and pressing back up. So we're just doing the eccentric portion of the push-up, but not worrying too much about pushing yourself back up off the floor. Now, working this eccentric motion is actually going to help you get stronger for the full push-up. So there's a lot of benefit to this exercise. It also really helps you to make sure that you're maintaining your alignment throughout the entire lowering down portion. Once you've practiced those slow lowers for a little while, you can progress to push-ups with a slightly limited range of motion. So you can place a yoga block or a couple mats underneath your chest and lower yourself just to that point and then press back up. That way you're working on lowering and pushing back up, but not worrying so much about how far you get down toward the floor. Eventually, over time, you'll start to get closer and closer to the floor until you're doing a full chest to floor push-up. So those are our favorite ways to progress toward a push-up. Now I want to talk about some common mistakes that we see with push-ups and some ways that you can correct those mistakes. So the first one is elbow positioning. So a lot of people, when they go down into a push-up, they let their elbows flare way out to the sides and their shoulders shrug up to their ears. And we really don't want to see that because not only is it going to be a weaker position overall, but it's also going to be an uncomfortable position for your shoulders. Now, to counteract that happening, what we want to think about is when you place your hands on the floor, we want you to spread your fingers out, get a really solid base with your hands, and then as you go to lower down, you want to think about corkscrewing out with your hands. That's going to help your elbows to tuck in toward your body a little bit better. It's also going to get your shoulders in a nice, stable, strong position. This should bring your elbows to about 45 degrees away from your body, which is what we're ideally looking for. Mistake number 2 that we see quite often is sagging through the neck and sagging through the lower back. So this kind of wavy position as you lower down and push back up. Now, a drill that we really like to correct this outside of what we already talked about with the pelvic awareness drill and the plank is called supine marching. So supine marching is going to be where you lay on your back with your hands by your sides and your knees up at about 90 degrees. Now, from this position, we want to really work on your rib cage positioning. So we're going to think about pressing your rib cage down so your lower back is pretty flat to the ground. Once you're there, we're going to extend one leg out, tap your heel to the floor, pull it back in, extend the other leg out, tap your heel to the floor, and pull it back in. And while you're doing this leg motion, you're trying to maintain your connection between your rib cage and your pelvis, so you're not allowing yourself to arch up or your rib cage to flare. Working on this connection and getting it stronger in that supine position is eventually going to translate into being able to keep that connection in the prone or plank position as well. Now, the last mistake we see is not fully finishing the push-up. So at the top, still having the shoulder blades kind of squeezed in toward each other. So one way we can work on this is called a quadruped gap push-up. So you get on all fours, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna sink into your shoulder blades, and then you're gonna push the floor away and spread your shoulder blades apart. And you're just gonna go through that range of motion where you sink in and press away. And that's gonna help to bring awareness to your shoulder blades, to your scapula, so that you are sure to finish out that push-up at the top and really spread the shoulder blades so you're getting full range of motion all the way down and all the way up. So to sum it all up, our favorite way to progress toward a push-up is to start at an incline and gradually work your way down toward the floor. Once you're pretty close to the floor, start adding those slow lower downs, then progress to the limited range of motion push-ups, and then finally progress to the full chest to floor push-up. And while you're working on these progressions, remember to keep your elbows at 45 degrees from your body, keep your neck and your lower back in good alignment, and finish the push-up by pressing into the floor and spreading your shoulder blades at the top. I hope this combination of progressions and tips helps you to master the perfect set of push-ups. If you like this video, hit that little thumbs up button below, and be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And until next time, peace, love, and muscles.